Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat on the way in. What's going on, everybody? Good morning. Good morning. Great Sunday to y'all. Oh, and down goes Frazier. Mr. Z, proven correct. Proven right. Oh, they moonwalking. Oh, they moonwalking. Ooh, they moonwalking. Taz, moonwalking. Nyla, moonwalking. Tanya TKO, moonwalking. Right? Oh, they moonwalking. What happened? Right? Real talk with Yanni, moonwalking. Oh, y'all moonwalking. What happened? Right? Huh. So we're gonna continue, and hopefully this will be the end of this conversation. Um, Speaking about Miss Rhoda, right? Yeah, you know. So we spoke about this when it first came out. Well, actually, rewind. Actually, we did not speak about it because Mr. Z had his tentacles up and something didn't feel right. My subscribers will remember Mr. Z said it explicitly. Something about this story isn't adding up. I'm going to wait. I didn't make fun of the young lady. I wasn't mocking her. I wasn't calling her brick face. But on the other side, right, I wasn't, hey, bro, we got to do better, black men. You know, I get it, but we got to do better. I wasn't doing either one of them. Because something about this story just was not, it did not add up. The math wasn't mathing. Right? The reason why there's no link in the description, Indigo, is because I got my information from the people that I just mentioned, right? And I didn't want y'all to go through it, but yeah, right? Yeah, Indigo, the infamous incident, right? So yeah, Indigo, infamous incident, the infamous incident, yes, sir, right? Why we're covering this and why it's important is, as I said before, the world understands, and that includes black women, that all you have to do is say the black man did it, right? And why it's important that I say that is because let's actually cover it. Let's actually cover it. Let's go through some of these points first. Tanya TKO's coverage. She covers an interview that Nyla did with one of this young lady's former friends, right? One of Rose's former friends. And the young lady, as a matter of fact, let's make sure we focus on this. When Tanya TKO covers it, she covers an interview that Nyla did with one of Rose's former friends, and she covers a segment of Taz speaking about how this is looking bad for black women. Like, this is not a good look. And he says, right, this stories like this and stories like the Carly Russell story kind of cheapen, as Mr. Z said, kind of cheapen when things like this may actually occur. We understand we have wayward people in this world, and that includes, yes, even black men. So this cheapens when this actually occurs. When something like this actually occurs, this cheapens it, as Mr. Z has said also. Tanya TKO skips around that part. She doesn't like it. You could see her like shuffling in her chair. She doesn't like it, right? So Taz, y'all number one ass licker, right? Standing in the background with the number one foam finger. You can't even take his little small critique of black women. I'm saying it ain't looking good, right? Tanya TKO also, there was a random black woman in her comments during her live that said, all right, black men, we got to hold this L. This time it's not your fault. Once again, Tanya TKO, taking out the cape. You taking out the cape. Well, mammy alert. Even the public L right? The public L, the light switch on, and you see other black women saying, "You know what? We gotta hold this L on this one." And Tanya TKO, she can't take it. Ugh, I can't take it. Hmm. Yeah. Who's we? We don't even know the full story yet. You're over here saying we. Hmm. Even the public L, even the chance to throw black men under the bus for the 1 zillionth time, that fell flat. Tanya TKO can't do it. It's making me feel right. Uh huh. They think that they can separate the two. They think they can distance themselves from this story while also not apologizing to black men. No, you cannot. Because the reason why this story mattered, let's be very clear, is because y'all did a twofer. You tried to throw black men under the bus for the brick incident, for supposedly a black man hitting this black woman with a brick, and try to throw black men under the bus for not defending this black woman. You think you can moonwalk away from the story without apologizing? Nope. Nice try, Tanya. Right? Stereotypical Caribbean woman thing, just talking and talking and talking and talking and talking and talking and talking, and think they could swag their way out of being wrong. Think they can one word answer their way out of being wrong. Think they can positivity their way out of being wrong. Listen, Mr. Z grew up with women like this. I low-key got PTSD from women like this. Just talking and talking and talking. And shout out to my Jamaicans. Y'all know y'all mamas. Oh my God, I grew up with them. Oh my God. Just talking and bro, you ain't seen them more talking than this. I know, listen, ADOS men, I know y'all think y'all got it bad. Oh, Jamaican brothers got it so much worse. You ain't seen a more talking in this ass woman until you met a Jamaican woman. You ain't meet a more think they could swag their way out. Always wrong, dead as wrong. Wrong as nighttime. And just talking and talking and talking until you met a Caribbean woman, particularly a Jamaican. Oh my God. Shout out to you, Tanya TKO. This was in my notes as one of the last statements, but I can't even help it. These are the women. The second they children can, they run. Oh, they run. Even the daughters, they run in the opposite direction. It don't matter how well off mama was with the money. They run. Ask me how I know. You think AOS women are never wrong? Shit. Just talking and talking and talk. But boy, I would like to direct on the Sergeant TKO. Jeez. I'm sorry, y'all. Triggered my PTSD right there. just going and 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 think they doing it. They sashaying around and they think they got female swag, black women swag. They black women slagging it up and they oh boy, ugh. And they can't help themselves. And everybody in the world be a million miles away from them and they still think they right. You want to say you have never seen someone apologize in the most disingenuous, mean way ever than a Jamaican woman. Oh my God. Shout out to all my Jamaicans out there. I know. Mr. G, you're Haitian, and you already don't like us anyway because y'all know Haitian. If y'all don't know, Haitians and Jamaicans got a simmering, low-level kind of beef because it's who runs the Caribbean. It's really the Jamaicans that run the Caribbean. I'm not gonna lie, they have an outsized influence. If we're gonna be 100% honest and unbiased here, it's definitely the Jamaicans. But I mean, when I say I mean like the Black Caribbean, right? With that said, oh, you ain't never met a more talkative ass woman than a Jamaican woman. Oh my, you want, if y'all think y'all ADOS mothers don't apologize, oh nigga, right? Toya, you see what I'm saying? He Haitian, but a nigga do a whole lot of Jamaican stuff. And Toya says, the real question is, which one of y'all claim Wyclef? Hysterical, right? Hysterical. But let's turn off the trigger, Mr. Zeta. My PTSD with the Tanya TKOs. Oh boy, talking and talking. Anyway, continuing. Tanya found out that Miss Rowe was a pro. We'll just say that. Yeah, 10 toes. We'll say that, right? She a streetwalker, and maybe she's a PIMP. Yeah. Tanya didn't say that side of the story. Now let's be very important why that matters. Or let's be very clear why that matters. The reason why this matters is because it further shows how much we protect Black women's image, even when they're completely on the wrong side of history, even when they're completely wrong. Forget just completely wrong. Lying and planting a story about an imaginary Black man, if this is not peak Jim Crow white woman behavior. The reason why we're covering this particular part of the story is because Tanya, Miss TKO, not divulging that information, which is her prerogative, let's be very clear. But with her not providing that information, it only illustrates how much, even when Black women are completely wrong in a story, in a situation, especially and most particularly in contrast to the Black men. In contrast to Black men, our society and definitely the Black community will protect that Black woman's image, even when she planted and lied about some random Black man hitting her in the face with a brick and random Black men standing by. This shows how much we are willing to protect the image of Black women. Right? So, Miss TKO, you not divulging that information, which admittedly is your prerogative, you're the one who dug up the story, but you not divulging that information only proves further what Black men are saying. Right? And y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. On that note, thank you very much, Mr. Ross, Michael Ross, for the super sticker. Thank you very much. Right? This only further shows and proves what Black men are saying. The Black community uses kid gloves for Black women. Even, and by the way, Willie D moonwalking. How did I forget that? Willie D moonwalking. But he still did the whole, yeah. Y'all are still not straight up apologizing. Y'all trying to equivocate. Right? Everybody trying to equivocate. The power on Black men, it's all Black men's fault, right? It's always Jermaine's fault. All of you look egg on your face. All egg on your face. And you still won't just, dear Black men. And let me show you what an apology look like, just in case y'all don't know. Dear Black men, look, we don't want to admit that we don't really have the answers for white supremacy, especially economically, and we've completely blamed you for so much of Black women going into academia and throwing Black men under the bus, going into the media, throwing Black men under the bus. Every chance they get, they throw Black men under the bus. So we've created an environment where it's beneficial and lucrative to throw Black men under the bus, even within the Black community. And Black women have got a hold of that. So we apologize for creating the environment to allow for someone like Miss Rowe to do this, and for us to pile on and start chastising and disciplining or attempting to discipline, right, Black men for, one, being violent with this random Black woman, the story's not true, and two, standing around and allowing it. And then three, mocking it so we see, or so we think, or so we feel on social media. That's what an apology looks like. Dear Black men, we're sorry for believing this lying ass woman and not waiting for things to come out first. We're sorry that we helped to create the environment where all a black woman has to say is a black man did it. We're sorry for allowing and raising our daughters to try to be like rich and elite and upper middle class lying ass black women, excuse me, white women. They want to be white women during the Jim Crow era. And now black women are literally, let's say it one more again, literally doing what white women did during the Jim Crow era. We're sorry we helped to create the environment where black women want to be white women so bad that they start lying on black men's penis, just like white women have done. That's what an apology looks like, Dr. Umar Johnson. That's what an apology looks like, Willie D. That's what an apology looks like, Taz. That's what an apology looks like, Nyla. That's what an apology looks like, Tanya TKO. That's what an apology looks like, Real Talk with Yanni. That's what an apology looks like. I don't expect an apology from any of you. I expect you to do what you're doing now. Equivocate. Half-ass. Hopscotch. Because even though this time y'all got to take a public L, black men still take a L because black men are black men in a white racist society. And they won't adhere to the rules of the matriarchy if we want to be kind, the gynocracy if we want to be accurate. So even though y'all are wrong, y'all are still right. Ain't that right? The lady got 40,000 and it's looking, I heard people are saying it's 45,000 now. It's closer to 45, but let's say 40 still. We're not sure. She got $40,000 off of a straight up lie that she did before. Oh, we're going to get to it. Right? There you go. And Willie is completely correct with this. A lot of black women want to be Karen Bryant Dunham, excuse me. And I've said it. Haven't I said it? Why can't I lie too? Why can't I lie on black men too? Why can't I get them killed too? Why can't I be a Karen and have the police called on this eyesore called the black man? Why can't I do it too? Why can't I practice negative liberty like white women? I want to be a pampered brat like a white woman. I told black women see womanhood as white womanhood. It's not just womanhood in a vacuum. It's white womanhood, most particularly upper middle class and above white womanhood. The particular black women we're describing, that's their ideal. That's the goal. It's not just womanhood in a vacuum. It's not, look, I want to be able to be, to live a nicer life and not have to toil with the men, and I want to be on a construction site. No, it's not that. It's I want to be Hillary Clinton, right? At the worst, I want to be Hillary Clinton, but really I want to be Melania Trump. Which the one that's married to William right now? I want to be her. Right? It's not just I want to be a woman in a vacuum. I want to be treated like a woman in a vacuum. No, I want to be treated and seen and gazed upon the way a upper middle class white woman and above is. Not Meghan Markle, the other one, the one that's married to William, not the one that's married to Harry. Right? That's how I want to be treated. That's Kate. Yes, Kate. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Dunbar. Thank you. You never know who's listening. Right? That's what this is about. And throwing black men under the bus as a political project, the same way white racist society does it. That's what these women want. The same way white society does it, the same way everyone knows this white woman is lying about some black man, some random black man that whistled at her, or that, worse yet, touched her inappropriately in the 1950s and the 1940s. Everybody knows she lying. It don't matter. We just needed the excuse. Black women want that social power too. And the black community refuses, absolutely refuses to not just acknowledge that, but take it a step further and work on this. Do something with your daughters. No, absolutely not. They refuse to grapple with the fact that many of your daughters want the toxicity of white womanhood. They want the power of white womanhood. It's not just womanhood in a vacuum. It's the power and the prestige of white womanhood. It's the proxy violence that white womanhood can enlist. That's what they want. Let me be very clear. Let me say it again slow for Dr. Umar Johnson and Willie D. They want the social and the political and the economic, but definitely the social and the political power of white womanhood. They want the proxy violence that white womanhood can enlist. Dear Taz, that's what this is about. Yes, they do want the ability to have a black man deleted because she said so. He looked at me the wrong way. He didn't get off the sidewalk when I was passing by. Yes, it's about that. Reckless eyeballing. Yes, they want black men decked in the face for reckless eyeballing. Yeah, it sounds hyperbolic now. That's because you're not paying attention to what they're saying. You're only reading at the surface level of what they're saying and implying. Y'all take your daughters at face value, or you pretend to because you don't want to grapple with what the Brookings Institute gave us. 70% of black boys born in nicer situations, upper middle class situations, come down to working class. That's systemic. That's not because they wasted their money or they're immature. That's systemic. And instead of y'all grappling with that, you turn around and blame those boys and blow smoke up your daughters' asses and turn them into little brats, little wannabe white women. Right? Thank you, Bud Buddies, for backing me up. And you know, this is not nothing against Jamaican women necessarily. Look, actually, one of my favorite like I love patois coming from Jamaican women. I love it. It's actually a turn on to me. Right? So this is actually not against Jamaican women, but that one trigger, the fact that they, boy, you know, right? The STFU, oh boy. So thank you, Bud Buddies. And Bud Buddy says, my family is Jamaican. You can't tell a Jamaican woman anything, bruh. Anything. Right? And shout out to Jamaica. You know, Mr. Z doesn't mean any real harm, but y'all know Mr. Z telling the truth, boy. Right? I love the patois. I love it. It's a turn on. It really is a turn on from Z. But Jesus Christ. Right? So continuing, well, like I said before, this speaks to how we handle women, black women, and how we protect their image even when they're on the wrong side of history. We also found out that this young lady, and y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. We also found out that this young lady has multiple GoFundMe account scams going on, not just the one other one that people have heard about. It's not just the one other one. She has another one that I think had $10,000 or $11,000. She was able to scam out the deal. Did I say link in the description for this one? My apologies if I put link in the description for the title. I'll change it after the fact. My apologies, everyone. There is no link, right? There is no link. So my apologies if I put link in the description. And I'm so yeah, I did. My apologies. There is no link. Right? That's all I'm saying, Redline. Yachty woman, no shop, bruh, Jesus Christ. We ain't gonna turn this into this bad Jamaican woman channel. We not. But Jesus, right? But yeah. So she has multiple. Miss Rowe has multiple GoFundMe accounts, right? And so she's played this playbook multiple times. She's used this playbook multiple times. Um, as I said before, so this is when the story gets very interesting, everyone, and we're going to expound on why this particular part of the story is important, right? So Nyla interviews one of Rose's, you know, former girlfriends, not girlfriends in an intimate sense, but former girlfriends, right? And the girlfriend speaks of Roe instigating a fight back in the day with women. Roe gets jumped, right? Roe then goes in the car and records and acts as if a 6 foot plus black man beat her up. So the clip where y'all see her saying, "I'm a good person. Y'all know me. I'm a good person. And look what they did to me. I'm going to school to be a doctor or a nurse." That video. So let's pause right here. The main reason Mr. Z is covering this story is this part right here. You got jumped by black women and you blamed it on a random imagined black man. Does everyone see now what Mr. Z is saying? Y'all have created the environment. Listen, Paris Milan in particular, y'all have created the environment. Now you think it doesn't matter. As I said, I'm skipping all over my notes. I'm not even reading them in the way I had them organized. Let's go through it. I've said this before. Y'all have heard me say this before. I have close friends that have heard me say this before. I've said this for years, maybe before I even entered the black manosphere, because I could see what the environment was producing. We're creating the environment. One day, with all of this, woe is me, black women, it's always the black woman's fault. We are creating the environment where one day a black woman's going to walk in a barbershop and air that shit out on some terrorist thing. Y'all heard it here first. We are creating the environment for that. And in her manifesto is going to be all of these people's names. Right? Y'all are helping to create this environment. Paris, Yanni, Chrissy, Lexus Exodus, Cynthia G. Right? Y'all are helping to create this environment. Princella, y'all are helping to create this environment. Y'all already, y'all, gee, this is why we got to be strapped up. Okay. Right. Y'all are helping to create this environment. We already inch further now. Now y'all coming out. Y'all see the Carly Russells. Y'all see the Miss Rowe. All right. We're inching closer to what I'm saying. And when it happens, I didn't say if. You better believe Mr. Z is going to be out here saying, "I told you." Not just to say "I told you." It's not about getting off on saying "I told you." It's about saying y'all have helped to create the environment. Your entire channels, your cash cows for creating and helping to foster in the environment that black men are trash. You are doing white supremacist society's bidding. And no, it's not the same as what black men are doing in the black manosphere. It is not the same. You can try to paint it as equivalent if you want. It's not the same. And thank you, Jay Stone. I did not know that. And Jay Stone says, and where's that comment that you put up earlier? There we go. Claudia Jordan and Funky Denever were talking crazy about this. You won't see them apologize. Of course you won't. Let's see. Well, you know what? Let's pause, actually. We'll see. We'll see. First, I didn't even know that that was the case, so I'm going to check that out, and then let's see if they apologize now, right? Yeah, this is what it is, right? Mr. Let me be very clear, and I know some of my subscribers hate when Mr. Z says that. I just try to keep myself humble, right? Mr. Z is a nobody. Like I am literally just a blue collar, American born and raised, Haitian Bahamian descent, mid 30-year-old dude out of South Florida. I am a community college dropout. I am a regular smegular person, regular smegular, right? If I could see something ain't right, I didn't even something about the story from the onset, and my subscribers will attest to this. From the onset, I said I'm not covering this story. Something not right. Something doesn't fit. I've been around black men my entire life. I've been around black women from the diaspora my entire life. Black men from the diaspora my entire life. A brick to the face is either a homeless person that have got nothing to lose, or a dude off his meds, or the person in the hood everybody knew not to mess with and you did. That's no black man is hitting no black woman off in the face with a brick, especially out for no oh, he just turned me down. I just turned him down and he hit me in the face with a brick. No. But the black community, that includes some of you black men, wanted a, I told y'all the black man is a monster, and y'all wanted to see black men don't know how to accept rejection. Y'all wanted a story like that so bad. So bad. Y'all jumped on this. And now it's very, it's comical watching y'all having the moonwalk. Of course, and this is going to continue to happen. This is what I'm trying to stress. We have created, I say we loosely, I'm not saying the black manosphere, I'm saying the black community. Y'all really have to grapple with the fact that the black community is what the black manosphere say it is. It's a gynocracy. And with that, it's jealous of white women and white women's power. It's white women's power and the ability to practice proxy violence. And with that, we are going to continue to have black women straight up lying, exaggerating, making up stories on black men. When I say the internet will expose us all, I want everyone to understand that these stories are going to be exposed this way because of the internet. They're going to blow up because of the internet, and they're going to have water thrown on that fire and doused, and the truth be shown because of the internet. More more explicitly, getting tongue-tied right there, with stories like this because of black men and what we've done, especially in the black manosphere over the past decade. Now, let's be very clear. These people snooping around and trying to find out the details, and let's be very clear even more. The reason why the reality of the story is coming out is because they were trying to snoop in even further to find out who is the black man. Do we have any stories? And they started to unravel. Like, oh crap, we got to get ahead of this story before the black manosphere finds out. Yanni tried to call around to find out the details so she can ban black men with it, so they can hit black men over the head with this for the next few years. She found out the truth, and it's like, God damn. It's looking like we took a L. Same thing with Taz, same thing with Nyla. They wanted so badly to ban black men over the head with this. Hit black men over the head with the hammer with this story, especially the black manosphere. And then they found out, oh crap. We got to get ahead of this before Obsidian find out. We got to get ahead of this before BGS find out. We got to get ahead of this before Angry Man find out. Right? Uh-huh. And even though Tone Talks is not associated with the Black Manosphere, but he is an attorney. We got to find out before we got to put this out there before Tone Talks finds out. We got to put this out there before Tariq Nasheed finds out. Definitely, they didn't. They didn't want Tariq Nasheed to find out and start flaming immigrants, who he calls tethers, right? Oh, they made sure. It's too late. Tariq's still gonna flame y'all ass. Don't worry about it. It's coming. Rightfully so. Right? Exactly. Locked and loaded. Yeah, O'Shea. Right? We gotta put this out here. We gotta put the story out there before O'Shea. Right? And no placeholder. Thank you very much for the super chat. And no placeholder says gotta be strong. Firm when it comes. Gotta be strong and firm when it comes. Sorry, firm when it comes to Jamaican women. Trust, they are just girls inside that hard shell. For real. Right? I've dated a couple. And you're right about that. Once again, this is not about, turning this into a Jamaican woman bashing session, but we got to be honest about the different sisters in the diaspora and how they present and how they come, right? Giggity, right? So, yeah. Right. So, another thing. So, this is very important. And like I said, this is not about the I told y'all. This is really about y'all created the environment. Me saying this is saying, what did you think was going to occur? And I want to be very clear how this is detrimental, because if you're not telling people about their self-interest, then it don't matter. Why this is important is because if we get too many Black women cry wolf stories, it's not Black men. It's going to be white racist society. I told y'all, white men are on a tear right now. This is the wrong time. Dear Black women, let Uncle Z tell y'all this. This is the wrong time to be playing. Just like BGS gave us the warning about these opioids and for Black men to stay away from them and don't be selling this stuff, because all these white boys is dying off of this stuff and white people dying all through the Midwest and stuff. Stay away. And just like we heeded that warning, dear Black women, this is the wrong time to be playing with this. We're going to blame it on men, because white men don't care about Black men. Yes, you're absolutely right. Yes, you are absolutely right. But this is the wrong time to be playing cry wolf. This is the wrong time to be playing cry wolf. And it's not going to be Black men that throw it in your face and make a public spectacle of the fact that there's Black women out here straight lying and making up stories. It's going to be white men. And that means that it's going to come with power. Watch. You know what white men are going to... Let's call it, because Mr. Z not the only one that see this. They're going to start locking y'all up for these stories. And it's not going to be no little lightweight 30 days, 60 days, half a year lockup. They're going to start locking y'all up for these stories. Right? They're going to start locking y'all up for these stories. And they're going to start going after all of you that keep on promoting these stories. You heard me, Paris Milan? Yeah, you better turn your channel into a lifestyle channel. Y'all don't appreciate the environment y'all in right now. I said it. You do not appreciate the environment you are in right now. Shout out to BGS. We were speaking about it last night. We may not be in the ballerific era no more. So have fun, because eventually they're going to come after y'all for that lifestyle branding stuff too. Give it a few years. You heard it here first. In China, they going after all those content creators with all the, look at me open this bag and look at the Louis bag. Oh yeah, it costs $10,000 and da-da-da-da. They going after them on that now, because it rips up social cohesion. Because what you're really doing is fostering jealousy, anger, and resentment at the society, because this person gets to have millions of dollars and then show it off, not just live a nice life, but show it off while this other person's starving, watching you show off on the internet. Thank you, Son. It's out raw. No situational awareness. None. They don't got it. They're too busy trying to defecate on black men and trying to be their best version of upper middle class and rich white women. Right? Y'all are so tone deaf. We living through stagflation and y'all want to start channels talking about lifestyle branding. Man, you know who got it right now, even though they doing a little too much with it. Khadijah, Julesy, even Kim Foster. Ugh, bleh, bleh. And Kim Foster actually lives the ballerific life. She actually got the money. She actually got it. She actually got the prestige. Right? You know who's doing you want to see how it's done? They doing it. And these are people that Mr. Z don't rock with like that. Kim Foster, who has the money and the prestige, a couple years ago told y'all, hey, this don't make no sense. We going through all of this crap financially, and y'all talking about all this lifestyle branding while she got all the nice things. Don't worry, Chrissy, you don't hear it though. Julesy tried to tell you this years ago, Chrissy. You don't hear it though. Y'all went. Yeah, I remember that back and forth between Julesy and Chrissy. Julesy tried to tell you years ago, Chrissy. You don't hear it though. Okay. Think Mr. Z is being hyperbolic if you want to. Right? There's a reason why I'm able to, and I can't give y'all too much of that type of information, but there's a y'all know I worked for the Florida Democratic Party. I'm not lying. I don't have no affiliation with them whatsoever at all, no more, no political affiliations right now. But I was able to glean a whole lot, right? Even from my lowly station, right? So, hey, I'm telling y'all, right? So continuing, Taz also, and he does this little weird thing, but he still have to, get on black men for this. So Taz also says something along the lines of this was a social experiment by the CIA to see how black men would respond, and the CIA pretty much gathered that black men don't see defending black women as important. That's what the CIA was able to gather. This was a social experiment. Wow. So this is how far we going with it. Social experiment. This is how far we're going with it. Oh boy. Right? By the CIA. Okay. So this was a social experiment conducted by the CIA to see how, or any alphabet boys. Let's say you said CIA, but you meant any alphabet boys, the FBI, the CIA, right? Et cetera, et cetera. The alphabet boys we don't know about. Okay, cool. This was an experiment conducted by the alphabet boys to see how black men will respond to black women in danger. Cool. And it's not an experiment to see how quickly the black community will turn on black men. So it's an experiment to see how black men respond to black women in danger, but it's not an experiment, right? And Armand, thank you for the Cashapp. Thank you for the Cashapp. Right? So it's an experiment to see how black men abandon black women, but it's not an experiment to see how the black community abandons black men and how quickly the black community will flip on black men, and how you have different black people from across the spectrum, economically, educationally, and how quickly they will form like Voltron to wag their finger at black men. It's not that type of social experiment, right? That's how far you want to go with it, Taz? That's how far you want to go with it? So, first of all, we already know the alphabet boys are crawling all over the black community. They know everything about what's going on socially and politically and economically in the black community. They already know. They don't really have to conduct these very overt social experiments. They already know. What are you talking about? right? And thank you, Jay Stone. That was Willie D's cop out too, minus the CIA. Yeah, I saw that, right? And thank you very much for that comment. Let me, bro. Instead of y'all just taking the L and going to go lick your wounds, instead of y'all coming out and just straight up apologizing to black men, taking your L, your very public L, and going in the corner and licking your wounds, now y'all coming up with tinfoil conspiracy theories. Black manosphere, you see how far they're willing to go? Instead of just saying, look, we created, as I said before, we created the environment. We blew smoke up our daughters' asses for decades. We created the environment where stories like this have legs. Instead of admitting that and apologizing to your sons, look, we're sorry we blamed you for white supremacy. I said it. Until you apologize to your sons for blaming them for white supremacy and its effects economically and its effects politically and the fact that you've been blowing smoke up your daughter's asses for decades, instead of you apologizing for that, now y'all coming up with weirdo conspiracy theories. Right? And Kev C, thank you for the super sticker. Thank you for the super sticker, Kev C. Wow. That's the environment we live in, people. Willie D, Taz. Yeah, they're moonwalking, but they still got to pour a little bit of salt in there. Instead of just taking the public L, apologizing to black men, let's say that one more again, apologizing to black men and going to lick your wounds in the corner, now you still got to be like, yeah, I mean, yeah, we got to take the L, but you know you still a black man, right? So you still wrong for not being politically, socially, and economically a white man. Taz still found a way to flip it. Well, all you people that was putting bricks in the comments and bricks, now you got to switch up the story. Which one is more egregious? A black woman making up stories about black men, doing her best rendition of a white woman during Jim Crow, making up stories, being jumped by black women and blaming it on a random black man that doesn't exist? You don't think that's more egregious? You don't understand how that puts even you, Taz, as a black man, your life in danger? Your son's lives in danger? Under random black men's lives in danger? Because you know what white women would do when they made up the lie and then got into the police station? The police would start sketching and they'd be like, oh yeah, and he had these type of eyes. Okay, he looks like this. Yeah, he had this type of hair. Okay, and he had his chin. Okay, we're gonna go try to find this person. And whatever guy came up, whatever random black man looked like that fake ass sketch, for her to save face, she would say, yeah, it's him. It's person 2A, and yeah, it's him. You think black women wouldn't go that far to save face? Don't we have stories of black women lying on? What's the story of the brother that had to serve how many years in prison because the girl said he assaulted her and he had a beautiful football career lined up and she destroyed it? Black women are willing to go that far to save face, Taz. Black women are willing to go that far to stay face, Willie D. They're willing to go that far. Yes, they will throw you. They want to be white women. What don't y'all get? Yes, they are willing to go that far and they will sleep good at night. Yes, they're willing to go that far to watch a black man get thrown in prison so she could save face. And in the case of Roe, yes, run out the back door with $40,000. And she'll sleep good. She don't got no conscience. Y'all should have, the myth of the white woman. The myth of white womanhood. Until y'all grapple with the fact that your daughters want to be white women, yes, even your hood ass daughters, whose father was part of their life, who was an involved father, yeah. That's why I had the video Daddy Dearest. Once again, shout out to the Roger Report. Right? And the 18th letter says, and thank you for the super chat, the 18th letter says, it's funny how this whole time black women complaining about black men was just projection, even when they say things white women lie on black men when they've been doing the same. And that's all. Right? Brian Banks, thank you, Will for the name. Brian Banks, that's the name of the brother who had a promising football career, and this black woman lied on him and destroyed his life. Oh, I know she was young, but still, right? So, this, I'm covering this to explain how dangerous this is. And the precedent. You want to talk about precedent? The young lady that did the video, is that the precedent y'all want to set, black men? That's the precedent? If you don't find this attractive, if we're not related to you, you're not going to protect us? No, what about this precedent? The precedent of black women. We have reached another Rubicon. The precedent of black women, not just fabricating whole stories about black men, being jumped by black women, and then fabricating a story of some 6-foot+ tall black man who beat you up so that you can get money. You want to talk about setting precedents? Do y'all didn't start taking L's yet. Like I said, the internet will expose us all. And Taz said it. He said, he's taken more L's this year than he's taken over the past 5 years with these type of stories. Yeah, it came out of his mouth. He said it. Taz, you ain't start taking L's yet. The black manosphere just started rolling, player. You ain't start taking L's yet. Yanni, you didn't start taking L's yet. All you black women that's trying to pivot to lifestyle content, I see you. Smart move. For now. Because what you're tacitly admitting is that you done toxicified, you done poured so much poison in the water. Right? You done poisoned the well so much. Because of your own gripes with black men or black boys in your own individual lives. The black men and boys that overlooked you or that are currently overlooking you or that currently don't find you attractive or that currently don't think the juice is worth the squeeze and they're not going to pay for your lifestyle. Yanni, Chrissy, there can only be one, and it's Paris. Paris, the one with the baller dude that ran out the back door on y'all ass. Crystal and Kerosene, Cynthia G. Well, Crystal and Kerosene be moonwalking and then she hopscotch. But Cynthia G, y'all have helped to create this environment. And for all of you that's trying to switch up and do something else now and try to angle your channel to something else, hypergamy, the hypergamy lifestyle, right, Chrissy? Try to diversify your channel like Yanni. Okay, I'm going to talk about a little bit about this and a little bit about that. Lifestyle branding like Paris Milan's trying to do it also. Because you're tacitly admitting that your job here is done in the black community. Your job at turning these little fanatical, these black women, these young black girls into fanatics, into white male worshipers, it's done. And y'all can see what's coming down the pike. Like I said, Eventually, one of these women are going to walk into a barbershop, walk into a male space, and air that out and target nothing but black men. And those black men's blood will be on your hands. I said it. I've been saying it. Right? I've said it. I've been saying it. What do you think years in a decade full, at least a decade full of black men are the monsters? They're targeting us. They won't do for us. They'll leave us for white women. Colorism, texturism, featureism. What do you think a decade of that is going to garner in an 18-year-old? In a 15-year-old that's listening to Chrissy and Yanni in Paris? What do you think that's going to do to a 25-year-old, to a 23, 24-year-old? What do y'all think? Lexus Exodus, what do you think? You had to create the video trying to back. Oh, well, there's these weirdo, these powdered dusties, these white male dusties preying on black women. What did you think? The white men have the internet too, dumbass. The white men have the internet too. They can see you preying on them, so they prey on you. Right? The DJ Diplos, the DJ Popes, and I'm not even saying they're reading your comments on the internet and deciding, oh yeah, okay, I know I could use black women. I'm saying the next generation of those type of white men, they do have the internet, they do have social media, and guess what? They see your comments. They saw y'all showing y'all ass on Kevin Samuel's show. They saw y'all drooling over Machine Gun Kelly. They saw y'all drooling over Travis Kelce. They know. And they're about to play y'all ass if they're not already. Right? And essentially, that is what I'm saying, Will AR. Femcell active shooters. That's what I'm saying. How much of that content you think you can put out, Chrissy, Yanni, and definitely Paris Milan? How much of that femicide talk you think you can do before black women start actually arming up and just going out targeting black men? How long? Right? So yeah, y'all have to moonwalk out of this, as you should. Thank you. Right? Thank you, Detroit. They said every 5.5 hours. Right? So that's why we're covering this. The dangerous precedent. And we're just moving closer and closer to what Z said. So now they're openly forget just lying, fabricating whole stories. And the only reason y'all found out it was a lie, and the only reason y'all came with the truth, was to beat us to the punch, because you know if we would have found out first. And that's why Yanni y'all are the ones who say, "Oh, I gotta take this public L." Yanni's the one who said that, because she know what it looked like, and it is what it looks like. You went snooping and digging, rightfully so, to find out the story about that man, this fictitious, unimagined man. When it started looking shady, when y'all started looking at her channel and her videos and realizing, oh crap, she's done this before. right? You attempted to beat black men, particularly black men in the black manosphere, to the punch, right? And you're telling the truth, ish, kind of, sort of, but you're not being honest. And you're backtracking, and you're not even really apologizing. There hasn't been any apology from no one, none of them. You can't expect it. But even the backtrack is disingenuous as hell. And the one random whoever it was in Tanya TKO's comments that was like, okay, we got to take this L, and okay, black men, y'all got this one. Tanya TKO started feeling itchy. She was allergic to it. Oh my God, you're. Oh my God, it sounds like you're apologizing to black men. Oh my God, we don't do that over here. Oh my God, who's we? Started mocking the lady in the comments, calling her mammy and showing a clip of a mammy with a cape, and mammy here to save the day. Really? In other words, we should be allowed to, not even, it should be expected that we can make up stories about black men, a random black man, maybe potentially have a random black man thrown in prison or deleted by the police officers, deleted by the police, and that should be perfectly okay. I mean, he is a black man after all. And even though we use this to wag our finger at black men and say, see, I knew it, this is y'all. Y'all randomly attack black women for turning you down, and then the rest of you just stand there, and then the rest of you on social media enjoy it and laugh and clap about it. And so when all of that turns out to be false, or looking more and more like it's false, instead of y'all being concerned about the $40,000 the lady ran out the back door with, y'all turn around and find a way to get on the black women that's like, okay, yeah, we got to hold this L. Even Julesy was trying to equivocate for Carly Russell. We don't know where she was running from, and we all needed time to run from something type talk she was saying. Right? Huh. She didn't ask to be found. Wow. Mr. Z wants to go back to school. I want to get my undergrad and I want to continue. With that, these type of examples, the Kim Fosters, the Ebony K. Williams, the Julesy's, FD Signifier is just a bit more honest about his agenda. When he said, yes, I'm trying to tone police y'all, he was honest. I respect the honesty, right? The message is absolute trash, right? And no, we're not going to allow this to continue to be a matriarchy. Black women can rule this by themselves, rule it right into hell. Well, wait a minute, we're already there. Anyway, right? Because I just want you to be very clear. That's what FD Signifier was pretty much saying. I ain't no problem with the matriarchy. We just need y'all to simmer down. I say all of that to say it is very telling our educated class of women. Chrissy is educated. Kim Foster is educated. Khadijah is educated. Cynthia G is educated. Oh, crap. Look at that. Right? Carly Russell. Right? Ebony K. Williams. We have a whole lot of educated black people. In this case, namely black women. And they show you when it comes to man-woman relationships, black man, black woman relationships, or lack thereof, all that education, indoctrination at this point, mean nothing. Actually, Mr. Z, it does mean a whole lot. Because the lens at which they view black men through is that white racist lens. That's when we start talking about indoctrination. Very interesting how we talk about black men being institutionalized when they come out of prison, and not black women being institutionalized when they come out of these white colleges and universities, and even some of the HBCUs. When they come out of these PWIs, and once again, even some of these HBCUs. Very interesting how we speak about education. If your education as a black person isn't fortified by knowledge of self and black history and how you could be used against other black people and yourself, the miseducation of a Negro, anyone. If your education isn't bolstered by these type of things, then what are you being but indoctrinated? If you live in a white racist society, which by the way you do, and your education isn't bolstered by a knowledge of black people and black history and a love of black people, then what are you being but indoctrinated? Right? And no placeholder, thank you for the super chat. And no placeholder says, soon as Kelsey left her, back to Kelsey family time, bro. And remember, she tried to defecate on his little reputation also. So they be defecating on the white boy's reputation also, on the white guy's reputation also, huh? Go ask Chet Hanks. Oh man, ex-girlfriend that thumped him up real good. Oh, the white guys think they're safe. No, initially you are. Right? Eventually, Keisha's gonna Keisha, Brad. We all know eventually Brad's gonna Brad. Dear Keisha, eventually Brad's gonna Brad. Go ask all the black women floating in lakes right now. Goddamn, Mr. Z. But to Brad, I say, eventually Keisha's gonna Keisha. Remember the white dude that popped up on Art New Style channel when that was a year ago? And I could smell it. I could smell swollen divester. I was like, wait a minute. What's that behind you? Y'all remember Mr. Z was the one that, wait a minute, you got a girlfriend? Wait a minute, she black? Wait a minute, nigga, does she be ever, how she talk? How does she talk? How does she talk about black men? And all the information started coming out of his mouth. I knew it. You got a divester on your hands. For those of you that remember that Art New Style video, that Art New Style stream. Right? So on that note, we're not going to belabor the point too much, right? We're already past the hour. Listen, everyone. I covered this because of the precedent and how dangerous this is. I covered this, yeah, let's be very clear. It's not just above board. Yes, Mr. Z did cover this to thumb this in these people's eye. Of course I did. Right? It ain't no point in even lying about it. And I should. Rightfully so. Because the important part of this is y'all created and helped to bolster and foster the environment where we have immigrants and children of immigrants. These are not even ADOS. And of course, ADOS women are participating in this also. Of course, absolutely. But even the children of immigrants and immigrants understand that all they got to do is fabricate some story of some random black man attacking black women, and black women will fund them at the tune of $40,000, at the tune of $11,000, at the tune of what, $3,000-$4,000, right? Code breakers, you don't know how much this made my day. I'm assuming this is Paradox again. Paradox, you don't know how much this has made my day. And Paradox says, yo, Z, we need to do a review a vid of your car if you're up to do of your Z. Wait, of your vid. Which vid? Which vid? I said Z. I didn't say everything except what he actually said. Of which video? Of which video? Right. And like I said, this has made my day. And I'm thinking about the Z because I'm thinking if I want to drive it today. It is a beautiful ish morning today in South Florida, but y'all know South Florida could be absolutely beautiful 1 minute and then tropical storm um tropical storm weather 2 minutes later. So yeah, I'm thinking about driving the Z, and I still haven't taken the T-tops down since I bought it. Right, I took it off the one time to make sure they go on and go off, and I haven't taken because you know I've driven the Z's before without T-tops with the T-tops off. So you know anyway, either way, let me know which video. Email me, you know right, email me. But yeah, so back to covering why we're covering this. It's important that we cover this, right? It's important that we cover this because it's important that we speak about the precedents that this sets and how the Black community has been primed. As I said before, right? The Black community has been primed for these type of stories, and for women like this, like Miss Rowe, to take advantage of the Black men ain't ish atmosphere that the people I mentioned have helped to bring about. And much of this starts with the godmother, Crystal and Karazin. It goes through the children, the grandchildren, the children, the Chrissies. Excuse me. Right? To the grandchildren, the super divestors, the neo-Nazi level divestors like Lexus Exodus. Stories like this have legs because of Paris Milan. And I'm not sure if she covered it or not. I didn't check, right? But because of the Paris Milans, because of the Cynthia G's, because of the Tanya TKOs, stories like this have legs because of women like you, because of Yanni, because of women like you. That's why they have legs. That's why this young lady think that she could come up with stories like this. Complete fabrications. Right? Codebreaker said, we can discuss the 300Z and great cars in general. Hey, and Adriano, better yet, says, what year is it? I'm new. If you're talking about my car, it's a 91 twin turbo. Unfortunately, it's automatic, but I do have the 5-speed to swap in. So there you go. Right? And the reason I bought it automatic is because automatics were cheaper than manuals and are cheaper than manuals. And yeah, because trying to buy a twin turbo manual Z that actually works right now and isn't a complete rust bucket, have fun spending $20,000. Mr. Z just don't got it like that. I don't. Yeah. And 20 plus if you're lucky, $20,000 if you're lucky, right? And yes, if you're super lucky, you can maybe get it off somebody for 15 grand. But right now, twin turbo Z's worth a damn online without a million miles and that are not complete rust buckets are going for a minimum of $20,000. And if they're really, really good condition, 45, 40, 35. Yeah, 50. One went earlier this year for $135,000. Or was that last year? Yeah, for $135,000 for a twin turbo 300ZX. I am not lying. So back to the conversation. I know the non-car people are like, oh God, Z's back on the car stuff. My bad, y'all. My bad. Y'all already know, right? So ending out, I want Black men to be careful. I don't want y'all to harm any Black woman, especially unnecessarily. I'm not about being 100% skeptical everywhere you go, or looking over your shoulder everywhere you go. That's no way to live. But understand that white racist society And yes, the black community, and yes, these particular content creators that I named have helped to build it within the black community such an adversarial relationship between black men and black women that there are black women that not only are making up stories about black men, but that are to their wits' end and think it's okay to harm black men physically. Because this story initially harmed black men because it showed black men as barbaric, as savage, that because a black woman turned you down, you thought it was okay to hit her over the head with a brick. And we know that if this story was true, that's not how it went down. We understand. But it also showed black men as cowards. So we're barbaric and cowards at the same time. Because the cowards watched a barbaric black man hit a black woman in the face with a brick. Right? That's why we cover these stories. To show that we have content creators, black people, who think it's okay to denigrate, insult, disrespect black men as a political project of uplifting black women. Right? The upliftment of black women has to come at the cost of insulting black men, denigrating black men, belittling black men. Right? There's no uplifting black women in a vacuum for these people. Right? And that's why we covered this story today. Right? So on that note, we'll pause right there. Y'all have a great, great, great rest of y'all day. Like I said, love, peace, and chicken grease. Thank y'all so much for listening. I apologize to all my if you coming out of church or if you're going to church and you had to hear Mr. Z cursing up a storm and covering a story like this. This is not something to be talking about on a well, maybe it is something to be talking about on a Sunday morning. Maybe, And if your Sabbath is today, Sunday, my apologies. Right? And Charles Irby will let you have the last comment. And Charles says, this Somali woman ran one hell of a scam. There is too much evidence to show she is a scammer. Bro, it's so much. And she's a pros. By the way, if y'all don't know what I mean by pro, she a pro. Right? She a streetwalker. Now y'all got to know what I mean by streetwalker. Goddamn. Right? But yeah. So, and black women fell for it. Black women fell for it, and their black male lackeys fell for it, because y'all have been primed by a lot of these content creators, by this white racist society, by your parents, right? You have been primed to believe the black man is boogeyman stories, and to spend money and give money to anyone who could articulate those type of stories. And here we are. Right? And here we are. So on that note, everyone, we're going to close it out. All right, everyone. Mr. Z out. So we'll pause right here. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content. For the love of God, go enjoy your families today. It's a weekend. It's a Sunday. For all of you that's not working, go enjoy your families. Right? And as Better You said, the truth will set you free. Right? Yeah. And Paradox, email me. My email is in the description. Email me, right? If you want to do something, we could talk about it. All right, everyone. On that note, Mr. Z is out. We'll pause right here. All right, everyone. Oh, Codebreak, I already did the Jimmy Dore versus I did it last night. Right? If you want to cover it on y'all channel, I'll be down. Just let me know time. Right? I have time today. I have time tomorrow. If y'all want to cover the Jimmy Dore versus Cornel West, but I covered it last night, right? Spain Man said my second job got me on Sundays now. Look, Spain Man, look, I'm supposed to be closing out, but anyway, look, Spain Man, for a good 9-ish months, I worked every day of the week, right? 70 plus hours a week, 9 days, excuse me, 7 days a week, right? I just got it where I'm off from both jobs um um for 2 days, for the same 2 days, right? That just happened. I want to say like 2 months ago at this point. 2 months ago, maybe 2.5 months ago. But for a good like 9-ish months, 8, 9 months, maybe 10 months, yeah. Every day of the week, 70 something hours. Now it's still 70 something hours, but I have 2 days off from both jobs. So yeah, right. So on that note, we'll pause right here for real. And y'all have a great rest of y'all day. Go enjoy y'all families for those of you that can. All right, everyone. Mr. Z out. Oh, and shout out to my Jamaican women. I still love y'all. I still love y'all.